Kiss me, baby, let the fire get higher. Abracadabra. I wanna reach out and grab you. Abracadabra. Go with it, go on. Abracadabra. You make me hot, you make me sigh. You make me laugh and you make me cry. Keep me burning for your love with the touch of a velvet glove. Abracadabra. I wanna reach out and grab you. Abracadabra. Abracadabra. I feel the magic in your caress. I feel the magic when I touch your breast. Silk and satin, leather and lace, black panties with an angel's face. I see the magic in your eyes. I see the magic in between your thighs. Just when I think I'm gonna get away, I hear the words that you always say. Abracadabra. I wanna reach out and grab you. Abracadabra. Abracadabra. Every time you call my name, I heat up like a burning flame full of desire. Kiss me, baby, and let the fire get higher. Yeah, yeah. I heat up, can't cool down. The situation goes around and round. I heat up, I can't cool down. The situation goes around and round. I heat up, I can't cool down. The situation goes around and round. And that, Your Honour, is how I got fired from Debenham's lingerie department. Hi, I'm Adam. Adam All, dapper chap, gentleman, and all-round cartoon-flavoured human entertainer. I live for and work in the UK cabaret circuit, the queer cabaret circuit, and I'm based right here in London. But today, beautiful humans, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Adam isn't real. He's an illusion. I'm Jen, and I'm a drag king. Don't worry if you're not sure. A drag king is an entertainer who assumes the theatrical guise of maleness in and for performance. We're going to thank my drag king brother Goldie Peacock for that very succinct description. Thank you. But this is by no means a new phenomenon. Christ, these trousers. We're going to quickly whistle-stop some names from our history for you, just to give you a little bit of context. Are you ready? Hold on to your seats. All right. We have records of women performing on stage in trousers alongside men, but in male roles as early as 1660. These were called breeches roles. But the first recorded male impersonator, or masher, that we have on record is Annie Hindle in 1867, who was brought here by a talent scout from New York and made a huge star on the music hall circuit. Other big names from that era include Vesta Tilley, Ella Shields, in the First World War, Hetty King, and in the 1920s, Gladys Bentley fronted a chorus line of drag queens in the Harlem speakeasies. Legend! In 1969, drag king, bouncer, and gay superhero Stormé de Lavery is reported to have thrown the first punch at the Stonewall riots, inciting mayhem against the police in a turning point for the liberation of the queer community. Absolutely amazing. modern day kings in the 90s, we have Diane Torr, who brought her workshops, Manfredae, here to Europe and toured all over with them, inspiring thousands. She also wrote some really great books. In 1995, there was Dread, which stands for Daring Reality Every Day, and she brought beat poetry and politics to her humorous lip syncs, and she became a huge icon on our scene. Now, some of the big stars that have inspired me on my journey to becoming a drag king include Landon Cider and Spiky Van Dyke, Ivory Onyx, and that's Phantom in the middle, and Sexy Galexi there too. Most of these people are based in the US. The Sexy Galexi there's in Australia. But there are kings all over the world. I have been honoured to be contacted by kings from Italy, Spain, France, Germany, yes, but also from Brazil, from Hong Kong, from Vietnam, from Iran. Absolutely amazing to speak to these people who are so keen to connect with our broader king community and share their experiences as drag king performers. There are also lots of different sorts of drag kings. We come in all sorts. Singers, dancers, lip syncers, comedians, magicians, prop and costume makers, aerialists. You name it, we'll put a cock on it. We do love it, honestly. But why? Why are there so many people so deeply inspired by this art form? What is it all about? So the only way for me to really get into that is to really talk about myself and my journey. So let's go there to little me. So my beginning. I was born the second daughter to a happy family in rural Hampshire. Pretty idyllic, really, to be fair. But everywhere I went, I was mistaken for a boy. It was a bit weird. Confused shop assistants, weird toilet encounters, and some really odd exchanges with some rather disappointed women. But at times it was frustrating, but at other times it was deeply humiliating, especially at school. And there were whispers and there were comments, and there were some insensitive adults, and there were some really rather cruel children. I was bullied relentlessly for the way I looked. I think a lot of people just thought that I would want to look like a pretty young girl. Why not, And maybe I just couldn't do it. But it just never gave me validation or strength, especially when so often I was being judged by the way I looked and not my mind, or being offered help lifting something of a perfectly average weight, which I was doing perfectly fine, all right, on my own, thank you very much. Or wearing a dress. Why do I have to wear a dress? I just feel vulnerable and exposed in a dress. It's not cool for me. And when I did achieve things or excel at something which was labelled for boys, I don't know what that is, woodworking, football, maths and science, I was often met with disapproval. Sometimes even disgust. And the boys in those groups I thought I could be friends with, they were isolating and cold, and I was met with silence and teasing a lot of the time, and that was heartbreaking to feel so isolated. And I never set out to emasculate anybody else, I just want to be myself. In my late teens, I started to explore my gender identity, my personal gender identity. I was part of the queer community by then. I had inspirations from the artwork in Katie Lang's album Drag, and in the TV adaptation of Sarah Waters' book Tipping the Velvet, which came out in 2000. That was a big swinger for me. I decided I would create a character that I could take out, and it would help express my inherent sense of maleness that was so often, belittled, I suppose, misunderstood. So gentle beta male Adam was born, and he was a release, a celebration for me, and in the end, the last laugh. I went out on the town, I won a few prizes at balls, I even made it to the front cover of a magazine. It was brilliant, and in 2008, I put Adam on the stage, first time. I had to work pretty hard. We drag kings were few and far between. After about 5 years, I built for myself the beginnings of a career in the queer community, on the gay bars, and on all the bars and the scenes and the stages there. But we were still there's so few of us. I decided in 2013 I wanted to start something to help people. So I launched Boy Box. Boy Box which I launched with my partner, Apple, is a Drag King Showcase Night. And it's right here in London every month. And it is for any new or established drag king to showcase their work and their persona freely on our stage. Absolutely amazing. The last 5 years, we've seen the UK drag king scene go from a handful to around 100. It's pretty awesome. It's absolutely amazing. Many of them have had really similar experiences to me, and they talk to me about it. Some of them have had far, far worse. Some of them use drag to explore their true identities, and some of them use the platform to fight for equality and visibility. And we perform maleness. And when I say maleness, let me just add and clarify, maleness not meaning masculinity, maleness meaning the full rainbow of beautiful maleness. Great. So much more. And we use it to liberate. It's a rebellion, it's a revolution with a fire for recognition so far unattained. What is drag in the end, if it is not to attempt to deconstruct, discuss, express, reclaim society's concepts of gender norms, stereotypes, inequalities, with passion and with humour, using our bodies and our voices and our minds to liberate not just ourselves, but anyone who's ever felt, I don't know, restricted by the expectations of their gender. So I was laughed at for looking like a boy. Look who's laughing now. Should we have a song? Hit that track. All right. I know we like to feel free to be ourselves, so do join me in a little boogie. Don't be too hasty, of course. Maybe we could just have a little dance. Or maybe even some cherry wine. What do you think? Back to the 80s? Here we go. All right, that's cool. I'll see you back. Come on. Not a word from your lips. You just took for granted that I'd want to skinny dip. A quick hit, that's your game. But I'm not a piece of meat. Stimulate my brain. Night is young, so are we. Let's get to know each other better, slow and easily. Take my hand, let's hit the floor. Shake our bodies to the music, maybe then you'll score. Ha! So come on, baby, won't you show some class? Why'd you wanna move so fast? We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no, we can dance and party all night and drink some cherry wine. We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no, we can dance and party all night and drink some cherry wine. Oh, na 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 slow down if you want me. A man wants to be approached cool and romantically. I've got needs just like you, but if the conversation's good, vibrations through and through. Ha! So come on, baby, won't you show some class? Why'd you wanna move so fast? We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no, we can dance and party all night and drink some cherry wine. We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no, we can dance and party all night and drink some cherry wine. Na 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 na. Well, come on, baby. take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no, we can dance and party all night and drink some cherry wine. We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no, we can dance and party all night and drink some cherry wine. Na 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 na.